Hello friends, and welcome to this video about WordPress file hierarchy. So it can be a little bit confusing to know which file WordPress are going to look for in which scenario. So I hope with this video I can answer some of those question marks that you might have. So if we take a look at uh, the WordPress codex and at this flowchart, they have mapped out which files that takes precedence over other files. So if we take a look, for example, the error 404 page. So if we get an 404 error, WordPress will look for 404.php first. And if this file doesn't exist, it will fall back to index.php. And it's, as you can see here on the flowchart, index.php is the fallback file for all other files. So if no other files exist, it will eventually find its way back to index.php. All right. So let's take a look here at another example. The front page. So if you go to the home page of your WordPress site, it will first start looking for front-page-page.php. And if this one doesn't exist, then it will look for page.php. And if page doesn't exist, sorry, it will look for home.php first. And if home.php doesn't exist, if we look for page.php, and then if page.php doesn't exist, it will look for index.php. Now, the home page is a little bit tricky because it depends on a lot of parameters that you set here in the settings. All right, so you can set your home page, what to display here, and depending on your settings, it will look for a different file. Right, so we will take a closer look on how it all works. So in my WordPress installation, I created this template theme last video, and this is simply the same template, but I have removed all files except for index.php and the functions header and footer.php. But these other files here doesn't really matter. It's the index.php that's important for this video. And in this index.php file, I have just brought in the header and the footer, and then an h1 tag with hello from index.php, and the loop, right, to display either the blog post or a page. All right. So if we take a look here at the back end of our WordPress installation, I have set my home page to my latest post. So it will display my latest post and nothing else. All right. So if we take a look at our site on the front end, so you will see here it says hello from index.php. And don't mind this one, this is just a navigation bar. All right. So here you can see it will display our last post. Okay. So this post comes from WordPress. It came with installation, so I haven't done anything else there. So as you can see, it will display our last post, and that's if you set the setting here to your latest post. Now, if we set it to a static page, and we set the home page, sample page, and this sample page is also a page that came with WordPress. I haven't added any other pages here. So if we save this and take a look on our front end, refresh, you can see it still displays the index.php, but here it shows the sample page. So if you set a setting here, homepage to sample page, it will bring up the sample page or whatever page you have here. So you can go in under pages and then add new, and then you can create whatever page you want and then style it, add functions and whatnot. All right, and then if you set it to posts page, then the post page here will be sample page, and if you save this, it will still look for index.php, but this time it will take up the show the last post or all the posts. In our case, we only have one post. All right, so that's the if we only have index.php in our file structure. Now let's bring in the next one. So according to the flow chart, the next file here is page.php. So now it's getting a little bit tricky here with the front page. There's, as I said, there's certain parameters that need to be set here in order to show the page.php. But we will go through these. So first, let's add this file page.php. Okay, and I will only bring in h1 tag and hello from page.php, and then I'm just gonna bring in the loop here so we get a clear understanding of what's going on and what we're actually seeing. All right, then click save, and then if we go back to our back end and take a look there, so if we have set it to static page, and we set the static page to home page, okay, so home page is sample page, and we click that post page there and click save, and then we go back to our front end and refresh. Now we get the page.php. Okay, that's because we set the settings here to a static page, and then the home page should be a sample page. All right, so it's looking for page.php, and you can style this page to whatever you want, and also if you have other pages in here, you can choose, right? But at this in this example, we only have sample page. Now, if we set it to posts instead, a static page and a posts page, and click save, and then refresh on our front end, you will see now it's only going to show index.php. So it's important what settings you have here. The settings here will decide what file WordPress is going to look for. And if you set it to your latest post, and in your front end refresh, it will still look for index.php. So if you don't have any other files and you only have page.php and index.php, and if you want to show page.php, you have to set it static page and the home page, and set it to the page you want. In our case, sample page, and then save and refresh. You get the page.php. All right. So our next file here is home.php. So it's this file, home.php. So you go here, back here, and let's add home.php. Home.php. Then we'll bring in exact same home.php, and let's rename this one to home.php and save. Now let's get back to our back end, and let's start with our latest post. Okay, so let's hit save changes, and let's refresh on our front end, and now it shows home.php, and it's displaying our latest post. All right, so if you have home.php and set it to your latest post, it will automatically look for home.php. Now, if you set it to a static page and home page, and hit save, and then refresh here, so it's gonna look for page.php because it takes precedence over both index.php. So we have the sample page, all right? So let's just set it here. And if we set a static page to post page, and click save, then refresh, you're gonna look for home.php. All right, so the only exceptions if when you have home.php, the only time we will look for page.php if you set it to static page and an actual page. All right, in these other two examples, it will look for a post. So we click save, and now you can see, excuse me, see that from page.php. All right, so that's that. Now let's have a look at front-page.php, because this is the first file WordPress will look for. All right, so let's create this one first. So new file, front-page.php, and same here, just copy and paste, and I'm just gonna put in here front-page.php and hit save. Let's go back to our backend, and let's start with our latest post here, right? So, and click save. So now it's supposed to show us the front page.php. So let's refresh, and as you can see, hello from front page.php. So it's going to look for front-page.php, and if it exists, it will show front-page.php and whatever settings you have on the front page.php. So in our case, we set the settings to our latest post, and now as you can see, it will show our latest post. Now you can edit here, and you can bring in your own functions and choose what to display. But know that will show front-page.php. So that's where you go in and change if you want to update your site. Now, if you will look at a static page, and set the home page to sample page, and save, and go back to the front end, it will still show us the front page.php, and it will show us the sample page. All right, so front page takes precedence over page.php. Now we will set it the post page, and same static page, and post page, and save it, and front end refresh. Now it will show us hello from home.php. Okay, so and this is also our latest posts. And if home.page doesn't exist, it will revert back all the way back to index.php. So know that. So if you have two different files, one home, one front-page.php, remember where you set the settings here if you want to, depending on which file you want to display. All right, so that's the front or the home page, and I think that's the most confusing part of the file hierarchy, which file it will actually look for. The other structures are pretty straightforward, so we're going to take a look at those next. So the first one we're going to look at is for actual pages. Now we have looked at page.php already, but I will remove page.php just to show you what it would look like. All right, so if we head back here to our backend and pages, and let's have a look at sample page. All right, so this is our sample page. So let's take a look here, preview. So I will just control and click on it, and that will open up a new right here. So we can just gonna close down this one here. All right, so we got the local host. Sorry, yeah, this is the page. All right, the sample page. Oh no, it's not. I think I removed the wrong file there, right? So preview. Oh wait, I should probably just remove because it shows that. So let's remove home.php. See if it makes any difference there. Right. So now we're back here. Okay. So now it's showing us the sample page as I wanted. Okay. So first file, as always, it will revert back to is index.php. So this means we don't have any files for pages yet. So the next page is actually not page.php. It's this page over here, singular.php. So if we create that file, singular.php, .php, and then just paste in some information and singular.php, save it, and then go back here in our front end and refresh. Nothing happens there. Let's see. Get the singular, or maybe I should have probably in the settings. And let's refresh this page. And as you can see, singular.php. Right, and after singular.php, well, before singular.php actually, it will look for page.php. And we have worked with this file before, but I will recreate it here, page.php. And just copy and paste, get page.php right there. Save and refresh. So you get the page.php. Next is page ID. So it goes actually something like this. So we have the file. So we have page dash and the page ID. All right. So it's a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. So if we take a look here at the our back end, and if we go to pages, and let's have a look here at the sample page. Okay, so you can find the ID up here in the URL, right? So it just says here post equals 2, right? So don't let the word post fool you here, but the page ID here is 2, okay? So we need to create a file named page-2.php. So let's do that. Let's rename this one here, page-2.php. And in this file, let's see, let's copy again here. Page here, and then page dash 2. All right. So we know. Now let's go back to the front end of our site and refresh. So as you can see, page dash 2. Okay, so that's that. Next is the page slug. Right. So the slug is, if you go back here, it's actually the sample page, or you have URL page here. So this is the slug. So we need to create a file called page dash sample page.php. So let's go back in our back end, new file, page dash sample dash page.php. Let's copy in our loop and then have a look there, page dash sample page.php. Save it. Let's take a look at our front end. And here, page sample page. Now I misspelled there, but yeah, you understand that's it's this file displaying. So it's page dash slug.php. Right. So let's refresh that. Right. Page dash sample dash page.php. Right. So the file that has priority over any other file is if you have a page template. So let's take a look at the page template. All right. So the page template you can set here in if you go into pages, and in your page there, if you have allowed page templates, or if you have created one, it will show up here. So as you can see, I don't have a page template here, so we need to create that. So let's go back to our backend. So let's create a new file, and let's just name this as page template.php. And then I have a page template already made. I will make a video in the future about page templates. So hello from page template.php, and let's save this one. Now let's refresh, and let's take a look here. If you go down here at the bottom, you have page attributes, and now you can see you have a template, and you can pick one. So here's our template. All right, template, since we named it template. All right, so that's the file. So if we go to our backend and actually just it was already saved there, right? So let's go back here to our front end, refresh, and hello from page template.php. So if you have a page template, it will look for the template file first. If you don't have it, it will look for a page-slug.php. And if you don't have the page slug, it will look for a page ID, this file here. And if you don't have that, it will refer back to the page.php. And if you don't have page.php, it will look for singular.php. And if you don't have singular.php, it will revert back to good old trusty index.php. So that for pages. Let's take a look at posts. So posts works the same way, pretty much as pages. So let's take a look at our posts here, and I only have one post. So let's close down this one, and let's view this one. All right, so as you can see, we have already singular.php installed. If you don't have singular.php, it will look for index.php. So if I remove my singular.php and if I refresh this one, it will go back to index.php. Right? Now, if you have singular.php, so let me recreate singular.php and paste in don't need this, just a singular.php, hit save, and refresh on the front end. You have singular.php. All right, so that's the file we look for. The file before singular.php is the file single.php. That's kind of the default posts page for WordPress. So let's create that one. So single.php, and let's just bring this one in, and let's close off this here. Don't need page. We don't need page.php. All right. So hello from single.php. Hit save. Go back to our front end, and now we will have single.php. Right. So next file here is the single-post type.php. Right. So the post type, you have to set yourself. This is not a video about post types. I will make a video later on. So I have already created a post type. So I have actually already created a custom post type. So I'm just gonna paste it in here in my functions file. I will make a video in the future about post types and how to create them. So let's hit save on functions.php. Now let's go and have a look at our back end. All right, so let's refresh, and as you can see here, we have tutorials right there. Now let's go in here, and I already created a post called tutorials. So let's take a look at this one. So we need to create a file called single and dash post type. In our case, it's tutorials. So let's have single dash tutorials.php. And in this file, I'm just going to the loop and just change it. So single dash. So this is the post type, right? So tutorials.php, and let's refresh, and let's take a look at this post. All right, so here you go. Hello from single tutorials.php. Now, if you have a normal post and not a custom post type, it will look for single.php. All right, so that's how it works. So it will only look for the custom post type page if you have one, if you have a custom post type. Otherwise, it will go straight to single.php. All right, and the next file there is the custom post type and the slug. So if we go back here to custom post type, so we have the slug right there. So it should be tutorial there, right? So let's create that file. So we need to create that file here, single dash tutorials dash the slug. And if you don't know the slug, let's go back here into our backend, and so it's this ending here, example dash tutorial, and you can also here see here under slug example tutorial. So let me copy this file. It's gonna update there, example dash tutorial, and let's create that file. So single and a custom post type, that was tutorials, and then the slug example dash tutorial dot php, and in here I'm just going to paste in the loop so we know what's going on. Tutorials dash in the slug, then we know the file, and let's head back here, single tutorials dash slug.php. Again, this is only if you have a custom post type. Otherwise, it will just go straight to our single .php for normal posts. So that's posts. Next is the category, and if you don't have any categories, then well, if you don't have any files for the category, it will refer back to the index.php. So if we take a look here at our posts, or the post that I have, we can set the categories down here, and I created a category already and named it tutorials, and I attached the category to this post, and as you see, I have this one here, tutorials. Right, so let's take a look there. So first we need to add the category in our index file. Excuse me. So let's first remove all these files here. We don't need them for now. So I'm just gonna add the category, and this is a pre-made function in WordPress. And if we update this one. Oh, this is going to single.php. So let's open up the single.php and do the same thing here. The underscore category and hit save, and let's update that. So here's the category. So now if I click this one, I will go to the index.php. All right, so the file above index.php is a file called archive.php. .php. All right, so let's just paste in this one and rename it to archive.php. Hit refresh. Hello from archive.php. All right, and you can see here up here we are on the category. All right, archive.php. The file before archive.php is the actual category file. So let's put in category.php. Let's paste in the loop and let's put in category.php and then refresh front end, and we have category.php. Okay, the next here is the category ID. So you find the category ID by go back here in the backend, and if you take a look here, so here are all my categories. I only have 2 for now. So let's click on the category tutorials, and up here in the URL you can find the category and tag underscore ID equals 4. So the ID for this category is 4. So let's create a file named category dash ID number. So that's in our case 4, category dash 4.php. Paste in the loop, and I'm just going to rename it to category dash 4.php. Hit refresh. Close this one. Let's take this one category as refresh category dash 4.php. All right, and the top file here in this hierarchy is the category slug.php. So the slug here is tutorials for this one. Now, if you go to categories, you can enter your own slug here, which I did. So in the case of the category tutorials, the slug is tutorials. So I will just copy this. Let's head back and create this file. So category dash and the slug name tutorials.php, and then let's just paste in the loop and hello from category dash tutorials.php, and on the front end let's refresh category dash tutorials.php. So this is the first file it will look for. All right, so we're almost done here. Just 2 things that what I want to talk about, and that's the error page and the search page. So let's start with the search page. So let's create a page called search. Or actually, let's do this first. Let's go to our index.php and let's paste the search form. So I will paste it up here. PHP, or actually, let's gonna do it not here. I'm gonna do in our front page.php, and I'm gonna remove this here for now and just put in PHP. So this is a pre-made WordPress function. Let's head back to our WordPress homepage. All right, so here's the search for. All right, and if we search for something here, let's say post, hit search, we get to the index.php. All right, now let's create a file called search.php. Search.php, and then actually just put in I think just going to put in this one here, the loop, and category and hello from search.php, and then let's just go back here and refresh, and let's search for post again, and now you can see search.php. So if you want to customize your search results, create a page called search.php. Now the last thing I want to look at is the arrow page. So if I put in a URL called WordPress/money, I get to the index page and an arrow page. Sorry, no post matched your criteria. All right, so we need to create a 404 page if you want to customize the arrow page. So let's do that. So new file 404.php, and in this one I will just put in the loop and then do 404.php, and back into our file, front end. Let's create from hello from frontpage.php, and let's put in money again. See where we end up. All right, so now we end up on our 404.php page. So this is perfect if you want to customize the look of your error page. All right, so that's that for the file hierarchy, and as you can see, there are a few other things that you can look at. I haven't talked about tags, authors, or taxonomy, or anything, but for that I refer to the codex and the official documents. It's pretty good documentation on the file structure and the hierarchy. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. I hope this clarifies a few things. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next